Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Rome, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services. Providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Wouldn't it be just incredible to have a superpower? Whenever I've talked about it with friends or on this podcast, I've always said that I would pick teleportation, right? Like you could use it for good. Teleport to visit friends or family in another city and have a coffee or whatever. You could use it for evil and find yourself in a bank vault for some weekend spending cash. But regardless, hero or villain, teleportation would be amazing. But there are so many superpowers. Where to begin? Flight would be pretty cool, like fly around the world in seconds. Strength like the Hulk, but you could control the uncontrollable rage. Control molecules, walk through walls like Kitty Pryde of the X-Men, or laser vision like Cyclops, or you could doppelgang, look like anybody that you want to in the entire world. Telepathic, like Professor X, get into anyone's mind. If you could have a superpower, which power would you want to have? My name is Todd Hancock. Great to have you along for the ride. This week, you will hear from 9 guests and the superpowers that they would want to have. In sports, a Paralympic snowboarder, an NPC bikini champ, and a retired professional hockey player. In entertainment, a Canadian radio host, a comedian, and a comic book writer. And you'll hear from this week's musical guests in just a sec. 3 rock singers, punk, rock, and reggae rock. Now, coming up shortly in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, model and race car driver Kristen Strout talks about playing in the Lingerie Football League. That is powered by 3-year sponsor FKP MMA. Learn to protect yourself, build your self-esteem. They train UFC heavyweight Bigfoot Caillou Machado. My youngest guy, Levi, goes a couple times a week, comes out all red-faced and beaming about learning how to choke someone out, or arm bars or kicks and punches, all that fun stuff. Vancouver's #1 training destination by a landslide. More through fkpmma.com. First, let's get to some musical guests and their thoughts on superpowers. That is powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Get over 20 years experience. Corey, the owner, has been there, done that. He has been in some great touring bands, has recorded so many amazing songs and bands and artists. You can use their state-of-the-art studio, get commercial sound on an indie budget. Won't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Check them out through thehawkinssoundranch.com. Of course, they're also chirping off on social media from time to time, too. So imagine if people with powers actually lived among us. Chances are, if anyone like that did exist, we would never know about them, right? Their secret would be hidden, I would think, forever. You would likely never find out, knowing what the government would do to these people. It's doubtful that anyone would want anybody to know. So to our guests and their thoughts on superpowers, you'll know Lagwagon from 9 studio albums, 4 EPs, and a cool box set as well. They're, of course, from California. They formed back in 1990. Wow. They're often mentioned in the same breath as Green Day and Rancid, The Offspring, when you're talking about influential punk bands. Well, listen to what their singer, Joey Cape, said.
Oh, man. Isn't that the question in was it like Shazam, that kind of lighthearted one a couple of years ago. Yeah, and then it often becomes the thing: is it invisibility or it's funny. I guess I never think about these things.
Yeah.
What's yours? Can I ask? You have one?
My super, I would want teleportation.
Yeah.
That'd be
I think
amazing.
Time travel would be pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. Go back to like the Westerns.
I mean, if you could travel through time and space, if you could do that, you could become sort of an all-knowing thing, but it would be really lonely.
Yeah.
I feel like every single superpower, when you pick one, has something that bites you. You know what I mean? It's like all of them have a kind of karma.
Yeah, totally.
like you're going to pay for that shit. It's a really hard question. Yeah, I mean, you can think about that for a lifetime. That's a philosophical question.
Oh, totally. From Lagwagon to Pop Evil, here's a band that you'll know from a ton of radio hits with Hero, Somebody Like You, Trenches, all big songs for these guys. They've had #1 songs, huge world tours, and their singer, Leigh Kakaty, had some thoughts about superpowers.
Oh, man, it's a good one. I've got a lot of them. I mean, probably Batman. It's just nasty, man. He's more human, too, so he's able to do things differently like that. Ben Affleck, man, what a beast.
Yeah.
So I think Batman's my dude.
Who has played the best Batman?
Even though I love Affleck, though, Michael Keaton, man. Like I love him as Batman. But I don't know. I like Ben Affleck. I don't know. I like change. So I like when it's new, fresh, just because the movies are shot better. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like I like when the Hollywood kind of gets involved and makes it look real and realistic.
Mm-hmm. I like the Christian Bale version.
Oh, Christian Bale. I forgot about Christian Bale. My bad. Yeah. Dark Knight. Yeah. He is. You're right. He's a good one. He's more mysterious than Ben. You're right.
And from Pop Evil to Sublime with Rome, now here's a band you've heard their music on any good radio station since the early 90s. What I've Got, Santeria, Doing Time, Wrong Way, of course that was Sublime. And when their singer Bradley Nowell passed away, he died from a heroin overdose back in 1996. He was only 28 years old, by the way. You likely thought, like me, like that's it for the band, they're done, right? Well then 13 years later, in 2009, the surviving members of the band started up the band again, this time with Rome Ramirez fronting the band, hence Sublime with Rome. Well, check out what Rome said about superpowers when he was a guest.
Probably to go back in the past and in the future. I play the stock market.
Like time travel and shit. That'd be pretty rad.
Yeah. Dr. Strange or whatever, he can do that shit, right?
Yeah, bend time and, like you say, go back and win the lottery and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Totally.
This will be a tough
one. You
one.
do a lot of good in the world.
Yeah, man, exactly. You could do a lot of good with time travel.
You can do a lot of bad, too, but I first try and do the good.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Use their 20-plus years of experience to record at their state-of-the-art studio. Commercial sound on an indie budget. Visit thehawkinssoundranch.com for more.
Goodbye, but I don't want to live without ya. It ain't the same old guy, come back again. Now I see that you're 10 out of 10. I'll do whatever it takes to get it right. I'm coming back around the way, so call me if you wanna ride. The IOU is coming back around the way. and every moment. But those years are down for blood, and my mistakes, I can't own them, baby. I'm so sorry that I made you cry. How I went and made you say goodbye, but I don't wanna live without you. It ain't the same old guy, come back again. Now I see that you're 10 out of 10. I'll do whatever it takes to get it right. I'm coming back around your way, so call me if you wanna ride. The I owe you is coming back around your way. Call me if you wanna ride.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Imagine the G-forces and acceleration of driving a car with 500 horsepower and what that does to your body. The engine screaming to life, an immediate dump of adrenaline through your veins. Time almost seems to go slower, hyper-focused on driving a beast. Heartbeat almost out of your chest. Your muscles tense with anticipation. You almost become part of the car. And when model and race car driver Kristen Strout was a guest, we talked about her heavy right foot, her day-to-day driver, an Infiniti G37, nice car. Social media came up and trying to keep up with that world. We talked about seeing concerts. She specifically mentioned Seether, Evanescence, and 3 Days Grace. Kristen talked about being in real estate and flipping houses. She talked about her tech company called Motor Mia. We also talked about living in Nashville and what that scene is like, how she was born and grew up on naval bases. She shared a near-death motorcycle story. And stop me if you've heard this before, Kristen talked about playing in the Lingerie Football League.
It's funny because I never even heard about it or knew about it. I was just throwing a football with some friends like on the beach in Florida. And some guys were like, dude, you have like an awesome arm. Like, do you know, like they're doing tryouts for the Lingerie Football League. And I'm like, what? I had played like flag football with a group of my guy friends before, but like never really watched or played. Serious or anything? I played volleyball and basketball in high school and college. But so they were like, oh, we're doing tryouts. There's literally like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of girls at these tryouts. And I was like, I don't even know football. Like, this is crazy. They kept doing cuts and I kept making it. And I'm like, okay. Like, and so then I made the team. And it's funny because I'm small. Like, people see like your social media and then they see me in person and they're like, oh my God, you're so little. Like, I'm 5'2.5", like 103 pounds. So it's so funny when they're like, you play in the lingerie football league? Like, it's full contact tackle football.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. Yeah, what position did you play?
I played safety and cornerback.
Okay.
Yeah. But my quarterback, it was funny because she's like, I wish you were taller because you have the best hands I've ever seen. Like, I would catch anything she like threw, like when we were in practice and whatever. But like, obviously with my height, like being a wide receiver is going to be difficult playing against like those like 5'10" girls, you know, that are fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit canadianclub.com today.
Damn, that is new music for Bad Magic. It's called Devilish Ways, new to the podcast as well, that features Emily Malloy, who is headlining our next live show. That's just, 2 weeks away, just over 2 weeks away, on Friday, September 20th at the Blue Light Studio in beautiful East Vancouver. It's the Toddcast Podcast Blue Light Sessions, Volume 30. We're 30 shows deep. Emily Malloy and Kara Bateman, who you'll hear something from Kara later on in the podcast. Both Emily and Kara will get a 45-minute set. I will interview both artists for the first maybe 15, 20 minutes while they perform as well. Of course, you can ask questions of them as well, right? Intimate, it's interactive, or at least we try to make it as interactive as possible. Save some bones right now. If you grab tickets, they're $20 through eventbrite.ca, eventbrite, eventbrite.ca. If you want to wait and gamble and hopefully there's tickets at the door, it's $25. Regardless, not bad. Not bad for something that's literally, it's unique to the scene. It's something that you will remember for quite some time. Doors are at 7 o'clock. The shows start usually around 8:15, 8:20-ish. I played you a new song for the Boom Booms as well. Now, who would have thought? What? We'd be getting new music from these guys in 2024? Don't say you did, because they were, for pretty much all intents purposes, they were done as a band, right? Actually, bumping into Tom, their guitarist, we both go to the same barbershop on Commercial, that Vina barbershop. And anyway, he was saying that not only do they have that single done, but they've got a whole album in the chamber. It's ready to go. So expect more new music from the Boom Booms in the months to come. Pretty cool, right? Love that band. So coming up in just a few minutes, in Listen to This, Seven Dust singer LaJean Witherspoon talks about the chances of a Seven Dust documentary. He even talks a little bit about maybe even writing a book. That is powered by 8-year sponsor. A key reason we've been able to continue to bang shit out for you over the years. Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. RV service and repairs. They are ICBC accredited. Great friends. Obviously, great friends of the podcast. You can find them through TedcoRVSupplies.com, kicking around on Facebook and Twitter as well, of course, Tedco RV Supplies. First, back to more thoughts and the superpowers, this time for a handful of our sporting guests, all of whom are powered by Hand Over Hand Textiles in Vancouver. Naturally dyed goods for your home, for your body. Everything that you find on their website is handmade, meaning everything is super unique, from shirts to bandanas and socks and dishcloths and scarves and pillowcases and throw rugs, you name it, whatever you want made, they'll make it for you. You'll love their work too. They only use pure plant extracts, natural fibers. In fact, it's good for Mother Earth. Locally owned, check. Locally operated, indeed. Find them through handoverhandtextiles.com, and you can find them chirping off here and there as well on Instagram. So could you imagine if superpowers were real, like every person born ran the chance of being born with a power? Now imagine that person grew up to use their power for good. Disaster relief and keeping the world safe, and what would those powers look like? Paralympic snowboarder Nicole Roundy has been a guest. She was diagnosed at just 8 years old with osteogenic sarcoma, a form of bone cancer, amputated her right leg above the knee after aggressive chemotherapy. Nicole was introduced to 3-track skiing back in 2002. 2006 became the first above-knee amputee to compete in para-snowboarding, is a 22-time World Cup medalist, and a 2-time Paralympian.
I'm gonna be Iron Man. I do. Like, I want to be able to just wake up in the morning and just my leg just like crawls onto me.
Right. So genius inventor, billionaire.
Yeah, I think it sounds amazing.
That'd be all right, I guess.
Iron Woman. Yes. I can be Iron Woman.
From a U.S. Paralympian to NPC bikini champion Nicole Cerrini, a registered nurse, a certified nutritionist, holds 2 bachelor degrees, one in nursing, the other in wellness, health promotion, and injury prevention. During COVID, she decided to get into competitive bodybuilding. Well, listen to what Nicole said about superpowers.
Oh my gosh, I have always wanted to be able to fly. I think that would be awesome.
I know, right? I'm always jealous of the people that are like, yeah, man, I always have those flight dreams.
I know.
I've never had a flight dream ever. And not that I can remember.
I haven't either. I know. That would be so cool.
Yeah. Do you remember your dreams? I don't ever remember my dreams.
Occasionally. And honestly, I only remember them if they're bad. Like, I actually had a dream that my mom was murdered a few weeks ago, which was awful. Wow. And I don't remember exact details, but I just remember that she was murdered and I was going to her funeral. I know, awful. But
that's like a wake up right away, call mom, make sure she's still cool.
And I did. I texted her right away. I'm like, you okay? So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And from an NPC bikini champ to a retired professional hockey defenseman, Greg Mueller. Of course, you'll know that Greg's also a pro poker player as well. He's won 3 World Series of Poker bracelets. And don't they consider poker a sport anyway? I think they do. Greg was born in Switzerland, started playing pro hockey in Germany in 1992. In fact, he actually played out his whole career there.
never really thought about it. I mean, I realize I'm never going to have one, so I never really waste my time thinking about it. I guess maybe, I feel like I read people pretty well anyways, but obviously being a poker player and, maybe if I could fully get into their brain, a lot of times I kind of know what people are thinking just from the poker, and, I can see if someone's sad or struggling or, they're putting on the happy act or not, like not even in poker in life. Mm. And, I think that's developed from my reading skills at the poker table, but I guess, even more so getting into people's heads would be, would probably be something I would enjoy.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Seven Dust has been played on good rock radio stations since the mid-90s. They've been around since 94. You've gotten to the point of expecting big riffs, groovy hard rock, great vocals, a deadly live show as well, a killer resume, Grammy award-winning nominated albums, multiple Billboard chart-topping albums, and right before Seven Dust released their latest album, Truth Killer, their singer LeJean Witherspoon was a guest. You heard him talking about all sorts of things like Pantera and the Abbott Brothers, songwriting and their inspiration, tour life and how it differs now compared to back in the day. The New York Marathon came up and how their tour bus once caught on fire. We talked about binging Love After Lockup and scary movies, touring with Nickelback, seeing New Edition in Nashville, working during COVID. The NFL and the Chiefs came up, and LeJean talks about the chances of a Seven Dust documentary and maybe him writing an autobiography as well. Listen to this.
Oh, wow. Well, actually, they'll be doing some stuff like that. There'll be a videographer on this next tour. But I have also been asked about writing a book. I don't know if I'm ready to yet. But would people want it? That's what I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, man, it's not me. And then 3 copies get sold. And I'm like, I suck. Or, No, but that's a good question. No, that's something definitely in the future that I would definitely love to indulge myself in, and to tell the story, not just about me and my life, but the people that I've met along on this journey that have changed my life. So yes, that's something I will do.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Hey, what day is it? Is it a Friday? Or is it 1956? Should I let you tell me what to wear? Bring a whiskey to your favorite chair. Is it a Friday? Or is it 1956? I won't let this slide. No, not this time. 'Cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side, and who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body. Yeah, it's my voice, my song. It's my body. Oh, oh. What would your daughter say if you told her that you'd signed her rights away? It's not your place to cherry pick the parts of me you think that fit in your picture of a better 1956. I'm so sick of you, 'cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side. Who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body. Yeah, it's my voice, my song, my body. Oh, my body. Hey, it's my voice. Oh, 'cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side, and who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body.
Isn't it incredible how music brings people together? Her name is Kara Bateman, and the song, it's a new song for her, new to the podcast. It's called 1956. And Kara was at one of our live shows at the Blue Light Studio months back, maybe 6 months, 8 months back. And after the show was done, she came up, she said, you know, this was so unique and special, and it wasn't what I was expecting. Like, they're really cool. They're really fun nights. And she said, do you think that I might be able to do one of these shows? And I said, well, I honestly don't know what your music's like. Send me your music. As soon as I heard it, I was like, hell yes. More on that. She's opening up the night, our next live show. More on that in a sec. But I wanted to highlight that this song, 1956, was written the day after Roe versus Wade was overturned. She says, it's a bold declaration of women's rights and gender equality, challenging the outdated norms that dictate how women should dress, act, look, think, and feel. It's a rallying cry for individuality and freedom, pushing back against societal expectations. Again, Kara is opening up the night at our next live show. I cannot wait for this. I know for sure it's going to be fantastic. On Friday, September 20th, again, Blue Light Studio. Normally we try to do the last Friday of the month, but since September 27th, the last Friday of this month, falls on the Truth and Reconciliation Stat holiday, you learn over the years, do not do shows on long weekends. So hence, September 20th, Kara Bateman, Emily Malloy, the Toddcast Podcast, Blue Light Sessions, Volume 30. As mentioned, I will interview both artists. You can as well, so have your questions ready for them. Save some money right now. Get them through eventbrite.ca. Tickets are only $20 in advance. It's $25 if you wait for the door. Hopefully there's tickets left. Honestly, I don't know if there's going to be. Doors are at 7 o'clock. Show starts at 8-ish, probably 8:15 to be honest. You heard something new for a band called Closers. This is new to the podcast as well. First spin for these guys. It's called Rain Check, and I've been I pounded their new album a ton this summer. We'll likely poke those guys to play a podcast show as well, but that probably won't be likely till the new year. We're fully booked, confirmed, advanced for the rest of the year. But you get the feeling that Closers are going to be fantastic live, right? I mean, so good. Speaking of live music, find a list of shows that are happening locally, not just our shows, but shows we think you should go to with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. If you're playing one, or if you're going and want to checking it out, let us know about it. If it's indie, we'll get it up at the website, get some free advertising for the show, maybe play one of your songs on the podcast as well. But of course, please send me your music. I would love to hear what you're creating and working on. All right. Okay. So let's get to the final thoughts about Superpowers, this episode 341 and this week's entertainment guests. Now, earlier in the podcast, you heard about using powers for good. Of course, like what if powers were used for the other side, for evil? Suddenly, teleportation becomes a deadly superpower. Teleport, you can kidnap anyone of note. Chaos and anarchy would be around every corner. Like, imagine that there was someone out there with the power of the Incredible Hulk, but they're bad, and how fast the government would try to get their hands on these types of people, test them and make clones and whatever else they wanted to do, like using other bad guys that they've coerced into working with them. It would happen, and you know that it would. Conspiracytheory101.com. As we move along to more thoughts on superpowers and some of our entertainment guests who are now powered by Thrive Management. They're an event staffing agency here in Canada. Basically, they cover all of the country. I've been friends with the owner, Sasha, for years. I think it's got to be coming up on 2 decades now. She is an absolute beauty, is actually scheduled to be a guest later on this month. And she was asking about sponsorship, and here we are. She's a juggernaut in the game, a model, an influencer before the term even existed. Her company is an absolute monster. From models to brand ambassadors, skilled professionals in various roles. They do TV and film and trade shows and home maintenance and a whole lot more. Check them out through thrivemanagement.ca. That'll give you more details. So comic book writer BJ Mendelson would be behind everything I just said about conspiracy101.com. I'm sure of it. You may have read some of his articles in the New York Times, Newsweek, the LA Times over the years. He's written for all those guys. BJ is a keynote speaker. He's an author, a comic book writer, as mentioned. If you want to check out his comic books, look for Vengeance, Nevada, and A National Story of Minor Significance. All are worth your time.
Definitely telepathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. I find, like, more often than not, the remote is never where I need it to be. So it would be great. Or, like, better yet, like go to a lot of Mets games, and so up in the bleachers, and so you're not close to the food court because you're up in, like, the cheap seats, and so it'd be kind of nice to have Shake Shack come up to you through use of telepathy while you're watching the game.
Using your power for good. Right.
That's right.
From a comic book writer to a super funny comedian named Erica Rhodes, who you'll know from maybe being on New Girl and Modern Family, or maybe it's from when she competed on Bring the Funny.
It would be to, I guess, heal people.
Heal people.
heal people from any illness or disease.
You know, I've asked probably 100 people that question, and that's the first time that's come out. It's a great power.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's like, oh, I want to fly. I'd want to be able to read people's minds. Like, read people's minds? Are you kidding? Why would you want to know what people really think of you?
Yeah, I would never want that. That's like horrible.
It's not a superpower. That's like a super nightmare. Not a chance.
Yeah, that's a total nightmare.
Yeah.
They didn't think that one through.
They're not thinking that one through, no. And from a funny comedian to a Canadian radio host named Marissa Lyons. And how crazy is it that both of us, our first jobs in radio was at the exact same radio station in Smithers, BC, at the mighty BVLD. Well, Marissa goes by the name MJ on the air. You can hear her online. She's at Country 105 in Calgary, Alberta right now.
I would love to be invisible. I think that'd be such a great power. Just be a little spy in the background when you want to be. Just disappear. Be shy and quiet. I think it'd be a great power.
Little fly on the wall. Unfortunately, though, maybe you might hear some shit that you wouldn't want to hear. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Toddcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Thrive Management, an event staffing agency that provides staffing services across Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Ottawa, and all of BC. Find out more at thrivemanagement.ca.
Another day in this broken state. I'm getting sick of picking up everything that you break. 3 whole years. Never once did you think there isn't progress that we couldn't make. But I did. Yeah, I've been giving everything I had to give. And now I'm starting to get tired of pulling all the wires. Situation's getting dire. I'm moving on, but I don't know what I'm running from. How did we get here? It's never been so clear, but I'm trying not to disappear. Now I'm at almost every day. The stress always building inside my brain. Can somebody see if I'm going insane? Cause it feels like I'm running in circles again. All the things I should have said. I'm moving on, but I don't know what I'm running from. How did we get here? It's never been so clear, but I'm trying not to disappear. Now I'm starting over. I haven't looked back since mid-November. So I'm moving on, but I don't know what I'm running from. Too long getting caught up in your web. If only we could forget. If only we could forget. I'm moving on, but I don't know what I'm running from. How did we get here? It's never been so clear, but I'm trying not to disappear.
Red Truck Beer, delivered fresh, the official beer of the Toddcast Podcast.
You
Yes, an absolute pummeling. The band is Murderers, and a new song for them, a new song for the podcast called Thoughts and Prayers. They have a 7-song EP, or is that an album at 7 songs? Regardless, it is simply called Murderers. They are from Vancouver, they're local, and the whole album from start to finish, every single song is out. Freaking standing. Really looking forward to next week, and you should as well. 9 guests will talk about aliens. Well, he's not a guest next week, so check out what former Slayer drummer, current drummer for Dead Cross, Mr. Bungle, Misfits, and more, Dave Lombardo. Listen to what Dave said about aliens.
Aliens, man, they're out there. How do you think we got here, man? There's a missing link. Something's missing between man and animal. Or man and ape. So I feel possibly an alien came down, fucked an ape, and created humans.
There you go. Not only that, but also
that's my conclusion, man.
Just the jump in, we're like cave dwellers, and then suddenly we're building pyramids, like overnight.
Right. Yeah. Not even cave dwellers, because there's still, before cave dwellers, there's no link between human and animal. There's a missing part, and who knows? I don't know.
Well, a lot of people think maybe it might even be like the Sasquatch, Bigfoot.
Yeah,
possibly.
You never know.
Who knows?
Sorry, it's unbelievable, man. There's so many mysteries out there. We don't know what the fuck went on millions of years ago.
Totally, you can speculate, but nobody knows.
No,
nobody knows.
Nope.
Nope. Love that. It was a really cool interview with Dave Lombardo, way beyond talking about aliens. But next week, 9 guests will share and talk their opinions about alien visitation, or maybe do they even live among us? Imagine that. Trippy to think about that. Could easily be happening, and we'd be none the wiser, right? Worrying about paying the bills or watching the political circus in the U.S. or Canada's, of course, not much better. All the things that kind of sidetrack us. Aliens could easily be living among us. It's not that far-fetched. Maybe you've even seen someone and thought like, wow, they look a little bit off. Just saying. Fun week next week. Of course, this one as well. Thanks to all of our guests this week as we continue to abuse their visits and their audio clips, using it at our free will to create cool podcasts for you. Superpowers. Be able to adjust any room's temperature just by walking into it. Change a channel by thinking of it. Know every line of any movie ever made. Hell, you piss gasoline. Think of the money that you could make. Okay, maybe some of those superpowers aren't the best, but wouldn't having a power be so good? Once again, my name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for being there, for listening. I know that there's plenty of choices for you otherwise. Appreciate you being there regardless, okay? Thank you, and tell your friends about us. It's a big way of how we grow. Share links on Facebook or retweet our stuff. Tag us on Instagram. You can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Megaphone, Apple Podcasts. You can see all of the interviews, the live performances that we do through the Blue Light Sessions at our YouTube channel. Of course, comment and rate the podcast. When you're there, it helps out big time. Search it out through what else? Toddcast Podcast. We are part of the Realm.fm network, which are based out of New York City. Worldwide distribution. Check them out through fiction, nonfiction podcasts. They are huge. Again, that's Realm.fm. Thanks to all of our stellar sponsors. Some have been on, as mentioned, this podcast for 8 straight years. Most for over 2 years in a row. Truly awesome support. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you would like to sponsor the podcast with your business, you can for as little as $10 a day. All right, contact info at the homepage. Love to talk and see what we can do. As always, help us find a sponsor. We will give you a commission. Not even kidding. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun. Play hard. Most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
I'm Laura Cathcart Robbins, and I'm the host and creator of Only One in the Room podcast.
Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us for an hour and lose yourself in someone's incredible, only one story. We talk to the realest of real people, dealing with issues like infertility, addiction, human trafficking, and body shaming. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to some celebrities too. Oscar winners, New York Times bestselling authors, supermodels, and even the most decorated U.S. Winter Olympian. Everyone is invited to share their only one story with our listeners. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.